we started this as a short film that we made in film school a number of years ago, and when we kind of liked the character, which is interesting because I guess a lot of people aren't crazy about the character. And
it's kind of the point, though.
A little bit, yeah. And we really wanted to explore like more of what every day is with the character, not just one day. And really what his life is like outside of stand-up comedy, because there really isn't even that much of him performing stand-up in the film. So yeah, we wanted to make that into a feature, and then that's kind of what we did last year. But exploring stand-up comedy for me, had to do more of, the same thing a filmmaker goes through of, going out there and really putting yourself out there in your work and being in front of people and exposing yourself and what that feels like on a daily basis when maybe people don't like what you're telling them or what you're saying, and how do you have a connection with people and I guess humanity in a way,
You had said that it was stand-up comedy is coincidental. It's just an artist, and what an artist goes through, and what point you hit where it's like, maybe this was the wrong decision, and
what. And like, what do you do with that? Like when you realize you're like 30 or even 40. He happens to be close to 30 in the film. But like, what happens when you're 40 or 50 or something, and you realize, like, what have I done? Like, what am I gonna? Where do I go? I've been doing this for 10 years, 15 years. What will trigger a change? What's going to do? And that's what a lot of this movie for me is about. Like, what triggers the change for Gary to do something else, something different?
Did you do some research in terms of just,
yeah. I did some stand-up in LA. I was out here, I came out like a month early, and we worked on some things, and then he was very insistent that I actually get up on a stage and perform in front of people, and it was horrifying. And it was a really, really scary experience, and that was really excellent to, it informed the performance and the stand-up stuff so much, and I talked to a lot of comedians, and Chad got me in touch with friends of his that were comedians, and I got to talk to them, and that was excellent. And I performed somewhere in LA, and Judd Nelson was in the audience, and he laughed. So I think that, I did my job.
Well, I like the way you told this story. It was very honest. Sometimes painfully so. That was obviously a choice. But what did you guys do in terms of just the rehearsal process?
Chris was saying he came out probably about 6 weeks before we shot, and every day we would kind of talk, because he was living in my house and stuff, and we would go through every scene, and everything, and just kind of, and we looked at different movies. We looked at Lenny a lot, and we looked at The Killing of a Chinese Bookie, which is not an obvious movie for this, you know, but then just kind of looking at how to portray someone's life. Honestly, and really, what does it mean to hold on a shot for, a long amount of time? When you're looking at something for 40 seconds to a minute, what are you looking at that point? As an audience member, it's not meant to be boring, it's meant to engage you in a way that...
But I was just going to say, to get back to the rehearsal, the performances, not to get sidetracked, we did do rehearsals, and we did loose rehearsals that evolved with improvs, and the script changed along the way. We took kind of Cassavetes as a model, to evolve the film. There was a script, and then the script began to change, but by the time we shot, that was the script, but it had evolved from the improvs.
Yeah,
so
things, obviously were still improvised and changed on the day.
But I was surprised how much of it was what you had written, actually. A lot of it. Yeah. Because it was very natural. The script flowed very naturally, and it lent itself to a very naturalistic type of thing which we were going for.
Right. Because obviously it was very organic. A lot of it was just the living, breathing of this character. Questions out there?
I would love to hear any questions.
Does the coughing symbolize anything?
He's sick, and I one of the things that we had talked about a lot at one point was that I had never really seen a movie where someone's coughing and, you know, I guess basically they're just coughing, and they're not dying.
Yeah.
You know, like Kate Winslet coughs twice in Finding Neverland and dies. The movie came out 7 years ago, spoiler warning, sorry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you always just see somebody coughing, and like, oh fuck, they're dead.
Yeah, that was something we brought up because we were like, what if he's just sick? What if he's just sick, he doesn't die? Have we ever seen that? And you're like, we should do that.
And, you know, we did think also it was a thing of a disconnection with people. Like when he meets people, he can't shake their hand because he's sick. You know, it's another thing to kind of keep him away from people.
Yeah, and I like that it was something where he's coughing does not. And the thing that I feel like our mission statement for us was kind of, or not mission statement, but we both believe like everything doesn't happen for a reason. It doesn't have to mean it can just be. It's just life.
It doesn't have to mean anything.
It's just life.
Yeah.
It's one of those things.
It's just life. Okay, another question? Yeah? No other questions?
Anyone, anything. Please go ahead.
It could be personal.
Wait,
it's fine.
I see one in the light.
Oh, okay.
Okay, you mentioned Cassavetes. What other filmmakers did you work at? What other filmmakers inspired you?
Francois Truffaut is always just something I draw from. Any of his, I don't know any of his films actually. I love the way that his career evolves. Specifically for this film, though, it was really Lenny and Killing the Chinese Bookie that, for specific films that we were looking at. I'm trying to think. What?
I'm trying to think what else we looked at too.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I mean, but yeah, Truffaut for me, Cassavetes. God, I don't know.
This film, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it was. It's weird to say because we're such rabid film fans, which I like that we made a film but we're like cinephiles. You know what I mean? So it's hard to say. It's so many.
But it's weird because I want to look at you as I answer this. That I don't really like a film where you just watch and it's a lot of references to other movies, and you're just like, oh, that's the shot from Goodfellas or something like that. And obviously, like, I love Goodfellas, but I'm not making Goodfellas. So. A lot of the film and the film choices for me come from the script and decisions like that. But I mean, those are artists, this Cassavetes and Truffaut that really inspire me, in every decision, and especially just looking at a career in general.
Yeah, and I think sometimes things come out, not consciously, because things would be done, and then it would be like, I could see, your love of maybe someone like Scorsese or something. I'm like, I could see that there, but it wasn't so conscious, and like you said, not homages or anything like that.
Yeah, Taxi Driver was a movie we talked about.
We talked about Taxi Driver.
A man's relationship, with humanity and society around him. And it's kind of long roaming shots, and like I don't know the last time anyone has watched Taxi Driver, but it's surprising actually how much of it is just Robert De Niro in a room. You're sitting there with him for a long time. So there's that scene where he like kicks over the TV over a long amount of time. It's pretty cool.
And things for performance too, like De Niro and Dustin Hoffman and Lenny and Ben Gazzara are just actors that aren't afraid to be ugly. And I wanted to do a performance that I felt was very real and really unflattering, and maybe on a certain level people could relate to that. That those moments in their life, or when they're alone, it's like that's what I was going for. Something that obviously would just ruin my love life, and So.
How long was the shoot?
Was it 19 days? We shot.
And I mean, was it consistent?
Yeah. We shot for 4 weeks. Yeah. 4 weeks.
And how much did the film change in terms of editing?
Not very much. I mean, it was pretty much what was scripted. I mean, like, we lost, little things here and there, jokes and stuff, but I mean, it's pretty as scripted.
Pretty great shooting ratio.
Yeah, not so bad.
Huh. Another question? Yeah?
I'm supposed to ask whose phone number is on Gary's note he leaves for the girl.
That is a real phone number that you can call and you get Gary Walden's voicemail. So if you would like
is that still functional?
That is functional.
Nice.
Absolutely.
Wow. Who picks up those messages?
Google Voice.
Oh.
It'll go to me, and I'll answer the phone in character and give you the advice that Gary would give you. Just end it all.
Yeah.
I noticed there wasn't much of a soundtrack.
It's very low.
Yeah. That was a deliberate decision. I didn't really want to tell the audience what to be feeling, and just any sort of like swelling score. I think we just felt like it was,
Yeah.
it was giving kind of the wrong feeling.
And
to
you
have
said
that, where it's
breathing
like,
organic. I feel like that lets it breathe, lets it be alive, and like you said, there is a starkness, that, and we had such
that
a
I think works
beautiful
for this.
Willie Levins who did the sound mix. It's so beautiful, they get to hear everything.
Yeah.
I mean, but it is the starkness of life, because
Yeah.
people don't walk around with, scores playing
Exactly.
behind them. Yeah.
What kind of thought did you guys put into how good or bad a comic he is? Like, was that hard to calibrate?
Yeah, we talked about that a lot. We didn't want him to be, awful. Bad. He makes bad decisions because he likes the antagonism, but we never looked at him like he's a bad comedian. Or that he's an unfunny comedian.
It was more the idea that he was unsuccessful.
Yeah.
And not so much not funny.
Yeah, didn't want to compromise those kind of things. But we didn't want to make a movie about someone like, he just sucks.
Yeah, it changes.
You
It changes the entire movie. I think if you just have him get up there and he's just awful. The second he gets up and the second he's down, and then he's just like, why is this not happening? Why is everything not connecting? And you're just like, because you suck. So it's a different kind of movie. I think if you do it that way. But just kind of having him, I think occasionally he has a funny joke and some don't quite hit. And for the most part, he's just really not connecting with an audience.
Because when we did the research to go see comedians and stuff, we went to those open mics and stuff like that. And it's a lot of not really good, not really good. That's a pretty good joke. More stuff that's not really that great. And I think that was really captured. I felt that we captured that with people's routines. Except for Diego, who played Hunter, who is just consistently hilarious.
Great.
He's too funny for the movie, and he should be cut out. But
One last question out there. Anything? Hey, so what do you plan to do with this in terms of getting distribution?
We are signed currently with 2 producers reps and are submitting, I guess, for DVD and streaming rights and stuff. And we shot a second movie in September that we're getting ready to lock picture on that and start working on that. So
another feature?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. What is it called?
It's called Waterhole Cove.
Okay.
And I'm in it.
He's also in it, and he's very, very different. He looks different. He
No beard, no glasses.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Anything? Well, can we have
This is your
another
last chance to ask a question.
round of applause for the comedian of Friday?
Thank you. Hope you enjoyed it.
Thank you for coming, everyone. Thank you.
And if I can have you guys come and sign the poster, if you can find a space in there. Absolutely. Hey, and all of you should have received an audience award ballot when you came into the theater, so please make sure that you fill it out. All you have to do is tear on the number. Remember, 5 is best. Thank you for coming and supporting independent film. There's still 2 more films before the end of the festival, so thank you for coming. Good night.